Hello everyone, my name is Angel and today we are back again with another Plan With Me. So for this video, obviously I'm going to be setting up my bullet journal for the month of August, and I know we are already a little over a week into the month, so let's just get right into the planning. Okay, so right off the bat, I am working on the cover page with this black sheet of paper that was lying around somewhere, and I did the word August in kind of like a cutesy 8-bit font. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but if you are familiar with Undertale, then you might know exactly what I'm talking about. So for this month's theme, I am doing Undertale, which is a video game released in 2016 by Toby Fox, which is about the player's character that travels through the underground all the way to the barrier to get back up to the surface. The entire game is in pixels, which I think adds to its charm. Add the narrative and you have yourself a game that tugs at your heartstrings. Now, I am not the best at doing freehand, so I roughly sketched each letter with a pencil before tracing it with a white gel pen. I was also looking at a set of letters in this font style. If you are curious as to the pens I will be using during this setup, I have listed everything in the description. As for the photos, I made a Pinterest board of my reference photos and I have linked that in the description as well. Moving on to the left side of the spread, I have loads of quotes I wanted to use for this theme, but obviously I only had to pick a few, and this one in particular seems like the best fit for the month. This month's quote says, "You didn't get this far by giving up, did you?" And I feel like, with everything that has happened so far, I'm sure all of us have achieved something, no matter how small that is, and you should be proud of yourself for that. Even if it was finishing an entire game or passing 3 physics classes within a month, be proud of who you have become. For the calendar, I just redid the August lettering at the top and then I colored it in with a black brush pen, but I remembered to include a red heart inside the letter A. I wanted to emphasize the white on black motif in reference to the game, so I did the days of the week with the black brush pen under white gel pen. Keeping everything relatively simple, I decided to stick to mainly black with little sketches on the side that hold most of the colors of the page. I also only placed horizontal lines in the calendar because it felt just right for the scene I wanted to include in this spread. I'm gonna try to explain this without giving away too much, but this scene I'm currently drawing is of the character falling from the top of the page and waiting for their descent is one of the monsters in the underground. I say there because the character could be any gender that the player decides the character is. Below the calendar is Flowey the flower, whom you will meet early on in the game. I wanted the colors of this spread to be very bright, so I am using mainly yellow and slightly darker oranges for the shadows. I'm also particularly proud of how I blended the colors together, which is something I said scared me in June: character development. Okay, I tried my best at following a color scheme because I didn't want to make the spread look too busy with lots of colors, so I stuck to warm yellow tones near the bottom and the cooler tones near the top, which isn't really that big of a decision because this is how the reference photo was constructed. I only used the gray SuperTips to enhance the shadows because I only have the 20 pack, which didn't really offer a huge spectrum of colors within the same family, but I like to think that it worked well. By the way, you may have noticed a few pixelated textures in the video, and I'm sorry for that because I recently moved back to my computer and I am experiencing slight troubles with my editing software. Moving on to the next spread, I'm drawing on the space you can't really see, but basically I'm drawing Muffet, who is like the spider mom in Undertale. Like all the other sketches in this Plan With Me, I already did a rough sketch with my pencil before tracing it with the fine liner. The main thing I noticed with Muffet is the shape of her face, which is very round around the top but very angular at the chin. Of course, her 5 eyes are tricky to space out because the 2 main eyes are very large, while the others at the middle were tiny, and I also had to consider the angles at which I drew all of the eyes. I don't think I've mentioned the function of the spread yet, but this is going to be my mood tracker, but I'm only going to color in the space for that day if I had a good day. The same as what I did with my July mood tracker because it's kind of difficult to gauge the level of happiness while I'm staying inside my house. So I have these spider webs which are divided into individual days, which are marked by black circles with the dates written with the same white gel pen I've been using so far. Since Muffet's area is mainly purple, the main color of this spread is purple with a few pinks and grayed out areas such as her hair, which need to be darker than the purple that the markers have. And right next to Muffet and her webs is a tiny calendar which will be the habit tracker for this month. A huge part of the game is the different colored hearts, so I will be using these colors for each individual habit I will be tracking this month. Each color has its respective traits, and I tried to match up the habits with the trait as best as I could, but at the same time I didn't want to force habits that I don't care about keeping just to match them with the traits of each color. So I have 7 habits I plan to track this month, and I'm keeping the same habits such as exercising and adjusting some of them from getting up by 10 to getting up by 7 in preparation for school. Next up, we have the sleep tracker, which is basically the same, only this time I used the doors in the ruins as the decoration, which is also mainly purple. I really have nothing much to say about this spread anymore, so enjoy the music, I guess. Alright, next up, I decided to place another quote page right here, which is related to the character's adventures in the ruins. This one says, "Take care of yourself, kid, because someone really cares about you," and it includes a little butterscotch pie. For this next spread, I'm drawing Mettaton EX for the playlist spread, which I finally got around to doing. I wanted to make a playlist spread for July because it was just obvious to do with an album theme. This month, I included my favorite songs on the Undertale soundtrack, which are inside tiny falling Mettatons. I didn't want to place more than one song about one character, so I have 5 songs from 5 different characters, the first one being, of course, Death by Glamour. I also included Heartache and Your Best Nightmare, and as an added touch, I placed the characters as the design on the little shirts worn by the Mettatons. I feel like this would look better if the colors were a little more cohesive or the decoration better planned out, but alright, say hello to the brain dump, back again after 2 months. I didn't want to make it look busy because the playlist spread right next to it is busy as it is, so I just did a little napstab look in the corner. Since a new school year is starting this month, I had to make a timetable spread. I tried doing the lines in freehand, but I knew it would look way better if the lines were perfectly straight, and I think I made a mistake with the time block, so I just had to redo the entire page anyway. In case you don't know how this spread works, this is for marking my schedule for the semester. Using different colors for each course, I will color in the respective periods in which I have to take those classes. Alright, now we are on to the last spread of the month, which is my first weekly spread. I have this week off, so I only need a tiny planning space, which is why I did a half spread. For busier school weeks though, I also do half spreads to save time. I only did a simple spread with 7 boxes for each day, and I sketched out the characters at the top right corner for decoration. You can see how I do the rough sketches, which involve a pencil obviously, and lots of guidelines to form the shapes that resemble the characters the closest. For colors, I took the colors of the sketch and used those to do the circles in which I wrote down the dates. Alright, let's see how everything turned out with the final flip through. That wraps up this month's Plan With Me. I hope you liked how I used Undertale as my theme for this month, and if you did, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and also subscribe for more bullet journal and stationery related videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!